1077 Music for Live. We've got some special guests with us this morning. Very entertaining. K2K Alliance. Good morning, all. We have Karen and Kathy Norman. Karen and Kathy from K2K Alliance with us this morning. And first of all, we have to say congratulations on your Band of the Year title. Again, I'm sure you've been hearing it all year long. First of all, let me ask you, you're also the first medium band to ever win a Band of the Year title. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Welcome
Thank you
to 1077 and Ocho World, and congratulations again. What was the feeling in the camp when you all heard the announcement? Did someone leak it to you all before it was officially announced, or did you all wait for the official announcement?
We always wait for the official announcement, and I think the feeling was like, what? Because the rules and regulations had shifted for 2019.
Right.
And it really allowed, I think, the entire Carnival landscape to have an opportunity to become Band of the Year. But I think the way that it was done, a lot of people were unaware, us included. So when the news came out, we were like, what? And at the end of it, we were relieved, happy. And I think what the NCC has really done is open the platform,
Yes.
to really give everybody an opportunity to compete. And what it really does, it strikes innovation. So you're going to get more innovative costumes coming from the small bands, from the medium bands, from the large bands.
Yes.
Because we're all competing for the same title. So it really does open up the platform for innovation.
Rather than years gone by when it was just the large band that would be called
Correct.
the Band of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that it is very open and fair play field at the moment from this year. And I don't think, anyone could have disagreed with that, even though they may have had their own thoughts. But, the majority.
They're very, very humble. And
Yeah.
they just, I'm the opposite of them. Yes, I was shocked when we won Band of the Year because, it never happened before.
Right.
But, really, did you see that band?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you beat that band?
Yes.
No. So, you see?
So let me ask you this. Your band is unique, especially when it comes to the costumes and fashion, coming together. What inspired that type of a costume design, and also who inspired you to get into mass and be band leaders?
That's a mouthful of a question. So the first one I'm going to tackle is, I guess, the fashion element.
Just come a little closer.
Come across a little
right
closer.
there.
Right. So what inspired the fashion element in Carnival? To be honest, when we looked at Carnival, even growing up, I think there was always a fashion carnivalesque costuming, right, element part of Carnival. I think what we have seen is that evolution or the landscape kind of changed, and now you've entered into what is called like BBF, Bikini Beads and Feathers. For Karen and I, we've always been involved in the arts, and for us growing up, the beauty of Carnival was the pure costuming, right? And as the evolution changed, as the landscape changed, we kind of realized that there was a niche missing, right? So what we wanted to do was to revamp, re-energize, reinvigorate what we had seen as Carnival growing up. And honestly, that is how K2K actually was somewhat formed. And what was the second question? What was the second question, Tweez?
Who inspired you all to be band leaders?
Oh gosh, I think all of the greats, really inspired Kathy and I to enter the landscape. I remember when we were in convent, we used to drive around the savannah with mom and stop in Wayne's camp just to see the drawings. Right. And then we would go to the Marshka with mom. And every time we saw like Alison cross the stage, and I tell people this, I think my eureka moment, and I think it was for both of us, was literally seeing Alison play what Katz and I deem as the Hallelujah, when she played that very big butterfly. So I think then like in prelim she came in on white, and then in finals she came in these painted wings. And I remember watching Alison cross the stage, and her face, she just looked resilient. And the way that she played those wings was so graceful, everything. I think in that moment, Katz and I were like, I want to make, play, be at that. You know what I mean? And I really think it was a culmination between watching how Wayne always mixed his colors. His color palette was always very beautiful, and he was a very good artist as well.
Right.
And then with respect to Mr. Minchell, his kinetics was
Amazing.
off the chain. It passed the stage of amazing. You know what I mean? So I think also our backgrounds like in dance and singing, and what we really wanted to do was to fuse all of those elements into one thing, which really became K2K Alliance and Partners.
Your band is full of so much color, so much vibrance, so much fashion. What did you have a lot of naysayers at the beginning to this different type of costuming?
Well, in the beginning, I have to admit, the journey has been somewhat challenging. I remember when we first came on the scenes and many individuals were like, what is this? And then we even had friends who were like, Kathleen, Karen, you're sure you want to get into this? So I have to admit the journey has been somewhat challenging, but then so is life, right? So, at the end of the day, what we would like to tell ourselves is that you're pursuing a passion, which is the arts. And in all honesty, Karen and I don't describe ourselves as designers,
Right.
and probably never will, because our background has always been in fine art and contemporary art, right? So what K2K does is an extension of that. If we want to talk about fashion, Mervyn is actually, right, kind of grew up in that whole real fashion, if you want to say, essence, but we have never been exposed to that.
Well, it's for me, it's a whole mixture of theater, especially.
Right.
And that is what drew me to them, because it was theatrical costuming. And the first time I worked with them, I'm looking at everything come out one after the other. It's like, what is this? This is amazing. And I grew up with the whole Mitchell mask camp experience. So
Yes.
I knew, you get to a stage where there's nothing that could surprise me in mask. There's nothing. I've seen
That
it
is true.
all.
That is true.
I know that when he brings out his drawings.
You have heard naysayers.
Yeah.
You have heard everything once you've
and
been
then,
with
then I
Mitchell.
see something I've never seen before.
Yes.
That is like a what the hell moment. I took so many pictures of backstage, and everyone ugly because it could not capture what I was seeing, what I
Right.
was experiencing.
Yeah.
So that was brilliant.
Y'all were involved with Marshall Monday this year.
Yes,
That was
we were.
absolutely beautiful. How y'all felt when y'all got that call?
Oh my gosh, we were over the moon. We were like, who, us? You really want us? I mean, and to be quite frank, their team, extremely professional, and it was a huge opportunity for K2K to really showcase not just the brand, but I really think it stood for like the beauty of Trinidad and Tobago. Culminating local because we were on stage with Ashanti, with Marshall
Right.
and Ashanti, and the energy on stage. We were actually blown and overwhelmed by the experience.
So tell us, what's happening this year for K2K? For next year's
So next
Carnival,
year,
actually.
we are playing, the theme is called The Greatest Show, which really piggybacks off of life being the greatest show. And The Greatest Show, it's really coined to being a circus. And a circus, it's crazy, it's topsy-turvy, and I really think it represents life in all true complexities. The sections going through the band, they're very light sections in names. So for instance, we have like the merry-go-round, we have Sending the Clowns, Defying Gravity, and Ring of Fire. The titles themselves are very circus-oriented, but when you really step back and really look at how we positioned, I think, some of the themes. So for instance, when you come to the show, the merry-go-round, it really talks to divorce. And
So there's an underlying message
There-
in
there-
the mass.
Yes.
there's like an underlying true message in the mass. So for instance, like the merry-go-round, the ride, it goes round and round and up and down. And I really think it talks to not just the ride, but relationships. It talks about life going around and coming right back around. It's just that in the spiel for the show, the way that we looked at it, it speaks to relationships between a man and a woman. They step on this ride and you have all of the good intentions. And at some point you step off of this ride and what you end up getting is a new ticket. So really and truly, the show, while the theme circus and the greatest show is very light, the show in and of itself, it's quite not somber, but it really takes a more adult spin on the circus.
Mervyn, how many masqueraders in the band at the moment?
600.
600. Are you all looking to go bigger? You all just want to keep, some people just want to stay at a certain size and that's it. Lock off, as they say. Yeah.
So we look to maintain the medium band category, and as Mervyn said, we max out at 600.
Everything is so complex in the costuming itself that to go bigger than that is, it's going to, you're going to lose that element.
Band launch at a church. For some of the people who are saying K2K, I remember that name. What were they involved in again? The band is what, 4 years old now? Three.
No, the band is now 7 years old.
7 years old
we're
now.
actually going to the 8th year. Last year with regards to doing stained glass windows.
Right.
I'm going to be perfectly honest. So the way that the band actually thinks about the themes, we actually look at a trajectory. So Karen and I would know for the next 5 years, these are the ideas, these are the concepts that we want to execute in the next 5 years.
Right.
With regards to stained glass windows, it actually wasn't meant to be for last year. It was meant to be for the year before.
Right.
Right. So when we were conceptualizing, bringing it to fruition, to be honest, we were looking for a venue and atmosphere that not only spoke to the theme, but that could actually bring the costuming to life. And I remember when we first thought about this, like, Mom, what do you think about doing stained glass windows in a church? Her first reaction was, Kathy and Karen, no one in Trinidad and Tobago is going to allow you to do that.
Right.
So bearing that in mind, we had several conversations with Mervyn, with others, with people that were very keen and core to K2K before we actually broached going to the religious orders to actually get the event actually held.
Who was the believer and who was the, you sure? Between both of you all. Kill. We ain't getting through this sort of that. Who's the one that was saying, don't worry, you're good. We're going to get through.
Yeah, Karen is usually the more optimistic of the two. So she was like, don't study it. We are going to get it. I'm like, all right, Carrie.
and it worked out.
And it worked
out. Meaning that, of course, you knew it was going to be controversial for some, and others would have definitely, gotten the idea and not just think of it. If you really know about K2K Alliance, then you know there's a message with the mass.
There was actually a very beautiful essay in the Catholic News about the band and the stained glass things.
Right.
So.
I think why people were a bit concerned is because they sort of pigeonholed us into one bracket. So, for instance, if a dance school approached any church, maybe to do a performance, right? I think a lot more institutions would be open to it because then it becomes an expression that is fully clothed, that becomes, just a beautiful expression.
Right.
I think, but when people think K2K Alliance and Partners, they think this is a carnival band. But really and truly, when Katz and I speak to K2K, we look at it more as, not just as a brand, but not a carnival band. Because what we really do is we produce costuming, we produce garments. And you're not going to get, I guess, our masqueraders necessarily wearing bikini beads and feathers. So it becomes more of a play on not us being a carnival band, but us being part of the creatives. And therefore adding to that, that diaspora in a totally different way.
Band launch coming up this Friday. Tell us about it. And where, when.
So the band launch is being held at Queen's Hall this Friday, so day after tomorrow. The theme
is tomorrow, isn't it? Tomorrow.
Oh, shoot, tomorrow. Oh, my God, tomorrow is Friday. Yes, tomorrow. Right. It starts at 8:30 and the dress code is elegant. So we're encouraging individuals to please come out. It is going to be a different event. As Karen well said, it's more theatrical performance. And we're doing it K2K style. Tickets can be found at our showroom at 22 Oleander Row, Victoria Gardens, but you can also get tickets at the Queen's Hall tomorrow.
And what time is the show?
The show it starts at 8:30, but doors open at 6:30.
8:30, doors at 6:30. All right, beautiful. Anything else you all would like to let us know about the launch?
I saw some of the completed garments and I had to leave the room because I want to be surprised.
Right.
So when you see things not being on models or dancers or so,
it's totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you never know what to expect. That's the best part about the show. But whatever you're expecting, you know it's going to be gorgeous.
That is true.
Thank you.
That is true. K2K Alliance, Karen and Kathy. And by the way, y'all, for those of you who don't know, Karen and Kathy are twins. Identical twins. And they told me which one was Karen and which one is Kathy and how to be able to tell the difference.
And you will never share it.
And I would not share it, but let me just say, it would only take them exactly 1 second. Even if you find out what was the difference, and I tell you, it will take them 1 second to match one another, and then you would not be able to say. 1 second with one item. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my
You all ever had how do the band members and your team members work with you all?
They just call us girls.
They don't want to be because I mean working with so many people and being constantly on the move. I mean, there's no way that.
I mean, our brother does the same thing. I mean, he doesn't go Kathy or Karen. He just goes sis. So like, there's just like just one name for both, or they go K. So whichever one is in the room, that one turns. You're like yes. So that's what people usually identify.
I know you're all accustomed to the twins questions. Thank you.
There's a slight difference in attitude
Right.
from both of them, which is how I started to tell them apart.
Right,
To know who I
but you have to hear them speak and gesture.
Well, they're very talkative around me.
Yeah.
So
But how long did it take you, Mervyn?
Why?
Exactly. Ladies, thank you so much for
thank
coming and
you.
sharing.
Thank you so much.
And all the best with the launch on Friday.
Right.
But even more so to hold your title and
Gosh,
a
thank
repeat
you.
next
Thank
year.
you.
Not to put any pressure on you.
Thank
I know
you.
it's all about the creativity with you all and the competition, and coming first was the last thing on your minds. I know that. It's just to produce and get your creativity out, and of course your message.
Definitely.
K2K
Thank
Alliance. Mervyn,
Thank you.
Thank you
for
very
having
much.
us.